What's up guys, Rocket Bunny here, and today we are going to try to sound like Knife Party. Alright guys, so I have Ableton up right now. I'm going to play you what I have put together for you, so take a listen, and if you like what you hear, stay tuned because I'm going to break it down for you.
Despite being only 6 inches long, pound for pound, he packs the biggest punch in the natural world. All that activity works up an appetite. Time to bring out the big guns. Mantis unloads the ace up his sleeve.
Alright guys, let's start with the intro. I'm going to play it for you first, and I'm going to break down the intro and what I did to get the sound that I did.
Despite being only 6 inches long, pound for pound, he packs the biggest punch in the natural world. All that activity works up an appetite. Time to bring out the big guns.
Alright, so one by one, I've got a ride going on. Very, very simple. Basically a quick EQ. And I turned the volume way down because it was way too loud off the start. I grabbed the vocals from a National Geographic documentary of the mantis shrimp. You could find these everywhere. I actually used to watch these on Nat Geo all the time. I love these shows. Especially the one with the British guy.
Unlike our intelligence, which is mainly centralized in our head hole, the octopus has distributed intelligence. 3/5 of all of its neurons are located in its arms. In a way, each of its arms actually has a mind of its own, which is amazing. Unless, after a while, you found out that one of your arms was an apple. That would suck.
Go to YouTube. I typed in Predator in Paradise. I'll just do it again. And it comes up with all of these documentaries on National Geographic, like Shark, and they got a whole bunch of different ones that you can pick. But I saw the mantis and I clicked on it, and it just fit. This is what the original clip sounds like.
Despite being only 6 inches long, pound for pound, he packs the biggest punch in the natural world.
Something so small sounds so badass. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm not gonna tell you how I got it off of YouTube, but I'm sure you already know how to do that. Let's see. And I've got an impact here right at the start. That basically came out of a sample pack on Splice. Splice is just like a large library of loops that other people make. Actually, sometimes even record labels put out like loop sample packs there too. It's a good source to get a whole bunch of cool different sounds and stuff, and to like get like your creativity flowing, because they have a large selection of all sorts of music genre loops. I usually just get like vocal loops and effects loops from them, but they have like presets and a whole bunch of other stuff. Next, I have another effects buildup. I could have done this in Serum, but for the tutorial, I didn't want it to take too long, so I just kind of stuck a loop in there for you. It sounds good. Just a small buildup. Nothing special. And that's basically it. I mean, it doesn't get any basic than that. moving on to the next section. This is the build up. Let me play that for you.
Mantis unloads the ace up his sleeve.
Snare. Very, very simple. Moving on. You saw the ride. It's just a different... oh no, I kept the same pattern. So same ride throughout the intro. Perk. I actually like this perk. So it's kind of like a clappy, snappy hit with... I added some reverb to it. And I just EQ'd it. Honestly, I think that makes the drop. I got a serum patch loaded up here. This is a riser. So it's kind of like a bass wobble riser. And it just keeps getting higher and higher to build tension throughout the drop. I put an OTT on it because why the fuck not? EQ'd it. Put an auto filter to get that like build up kind of thing instead of doing it with the volume control. I don't really like doing automations with volume because when you're going through and like editing your levels in your mix and trying to get everything to fit right, it just gets in the way. So I just add the auto filter. I put it on there and I see if I can show you here. So I auto filter and I just map the frequency. The best way I can explain frequency and then auto filter to you is like if you were outside of a club and the door was shut and then you slowly like push open that door. That's basically the same kind of sound you're getting out of the filter when you do it like this. Underneath it is another riser, different serum patch. So it's a little bit higher and I added a vibrato to it so it kind of wobbles back and forth, kind of like the knife party kind of theme. And I did the same thing with the auto filter on this one too. I made sure they're fairly similar. I've got a basic chord. I wouldn't say chord progression because it's the same chord played over and over again. But this is what it sounds like. I don't know if you can hear that. It's very low. And it's rising up. So kind of the same thing with that filter frequency effect. Some point I will go over my fat rack, but not now. That's a secret. That's my secret weapon. Alright, let's see here. Alright, so these are the one shots. These also came off, actually no, I think these came out of Somatics. Somatics also does loops too, and this is actually a free pack. I just used the brass one shots. And then I have another loop. This one is also from Splice. It's another build-up. And it's basically just white noise. So something else I probably could have done in Serum, but was just too lazy to do it for the tutorial. If you want to know how to make build-ups and like white noise build-ups or effects build-ups, comment down below, let me know, and I will try my best to put a tutorial up for you. Alright, so that was the build-up, and now we can move on to, I don't really want to call it a drop because it's more or less a chorus to the drop. But I mean, it could be a drop. It's not. It's kind of mellow for like Knife Party style, but while I was making the track, I kind of made it like that, kind of mellowy, and I ended up actually liking how it sounded, so I just kept it for you guys. So hopefully you guys like how it sounds too. So here's the drop chorus. Oh, we got a loop going on here. Right, so a lot to break down for you. So follow along, and I apologize if I'm going too fast. So we have the basic, you know, kick, snare, intervals, and then we have the ride that's going all the way through, and the percussion. This is in between, or after each bass hit, and that's just a vocal that I took, pitched up, applied reverb, and stretched it so it kind of sounds like this. I don't know. It's funny. But I thought it sounded cool, and in some of Knife Party's tracks, they have like these weird hits that are vocals that they kind of mess with, and kind of like turn them into like an effects hit off of their bass. So that's why I put that there. Next, I have the rising bass that we used in the buildup, and I put it over here and modulated the auto filter so it kind of came in and out. I just think that sounds badass. I put an OTT on it because OTT is king. EQ8. If you like that sound, I can show you the serum patch for it. I can also include it in the description below. But basically, this is it. Sub direct out. Usually, actually, I don't know why that even has a sub on it, because I took everything out. That's okay though. So let's see. So this is the processing. Super standard. I mean, I barely touched anything here. There is no, I mean, it's not complicated. But like I said, I will include a patch for you. That way, if you want to go in and figure out what I did, that's totally cool. And I got an instance of massive. This is the initial bass hit when the drop starts. So very signature Knife Party sound. So dirty. So basically, I just took all the lows out of it and put my fat rack on it, auto filter, and that's basically it. The unity is just to control the gain on it because it was clipping. Not that dubstep really matters because you can barely hear clipping in dubstep, but I like to try to make my sounds clean as possible. And this is kind of like a rough mix anyways, but just to like show you. This is my my bass patch. I just called it Bass Knife. Don't ask me why. I just went and did it really quick for the tutorial. This will also be included in the description below. And then you can see what I did here to create the patch. This is a instance of Serum. This is my bass for the massive patch. I froze it because when you freeze a track, it's a lot more accurate in the spectrum analyzer, which is, let me see if I have one of these open with spectrum. I don't. Okay. Basically, the spectrum analyzer over here is one big frequency spectrum that you can see how your levels are hitting and what key they're in. And if you are playing in MIDI notes, sometimes it shifts and it's not precise or exactly where you want to be hitting. So let's say, for instance, you're hitting a MIDI note in a certain key. Sometimes it will shift keys, or it will be louder in some areas and softer in others. So I flattened it to get rid of the guessing game, if you will, so that I could mix it properly to my kick, because sub and kick don't like each other if you don't give space or room for them to sit And it's very hard to do that when this is all over the place. So I froze it.
Is it cold in here?
It's the bass. I don't know if you can hear it. The serum patch for the bass is very straightforward. I will I'll just create a new MIDI track and I'll show you real quick. The bass patch is I turn the sub on and put direct out. Default analog bass synth, and that's basically it. That's all I did for this sub. That's it. Nothing special, no effects, no nothing. That's it. So yeah. Moving on, we have another signature Knife Party sound. Also, Martin Garrix uses this sound too. This is a plucky high synth that I did to fill in the dead space between the bass hits. This is also a massive preset that I will also include in the description. Moving on. This is the chords from earlier. This is the signature, I guess you would say, Knife Party lead. I don't know why, but I love that lead. It's a very like wobbly. It's great. This will be also included. Take a look at that. I literally just made it, so I didn't name it, but I'll name it like Knife Party lead. I don't know. But I'll put that in the description too after I figure out a name for it. You'd be downloading it and be like, what the hell is Untitled? Oh, but it sounds okay. Alright. These are the one-shots that I showed you before. This is a Virtual Riot Effects Impact from his pack. Highly recommend his pack on Splice. Great samples. He knows what he's doing. Great quality. Yeah, and that's it. Alright guys, that is it for today. The project that we did today was kind of rough. Going through it, I could see that some of the elements in the track needed to be turned down, especially the bass and the drop. But I had fun, and I hope you did too. And if you have a suggestion for another tutorial, you know, rap, EDM, anything EDM really, rhythm, dubstep, pop, who knows, post it down below and I will try to do a tutorial on your favorite artist. Social links are in the description below. I will link my SoundCloud and Facebook page and Twitter page for you. Also check out down below, there will be download links to all the presets used today for Massive and Serum, and I will see you in the next episode.